Hi everyone, Some Dumb American here, and today we're going to be responding to Sandman. But we're not going to be responding to the whole video because holy shit is his voice grating. If you would like to put yourself through his entire video, the link is in the description, but a better idea is to go listen to the parody video that I put out a couple of months ago.
Hey Sandman, please discuss Laci Green and her red pilling. What do you think?
Let me guess, she's infiltrating the anti-feminist movement with her pussy juice, right? I'm not kidding, by the way. He actually thinks that smush cookie juice can seep into your dick and cause mind control.
Laci Green is the tip of the titty-shaped iceberg.
Ha, I know, right? So buckle in, it only gets crazier from here.
Laci Green and other so-called feminist women are apparently becoming red-pilled, and I've said this before, that anti-feminism would become the new feminism.
Laci Green is no less a feminist than she was a couple of months ago. The only thing that changed is her willingness to talk to the other side. I mean, listen to what she says. Watch some of her videos. She's still an SJW. She's just not as crazy. She also says in her red pill video that she's still a feminist, and that is completely true from what I've seen. If her views actually are changing, it's happening very slowly.
Recently, Lauren Southern has been dressing up incredibly feminine, bleaching her hair blonde, making herself look hyper-feminine.
Lauren Southern, as long as I've seen her on YouTube, has always had her hair bleached, and she's always dressed fairly feminine.
Feminists realize that men are revolting against short purple hair that looks like a cockatoo, and that men judge women based on their appearance more than anything else.
Not everything is about a man. Women can change their political views without it being motivated by penis.
So all a woman has to do to gain the moral high ground and influence over men is appear to be traditional, to go against the very same feminism they were supporting only a few months ago, especially in the case of Laci Green.
Again, Laci Green is still a feminist, and she doesn't look any different from how she looked when she made her Trumpocalypse video. And you mentioned Miley Cyrus earlier, and let's face it, teen pop stars go through phases. Calm down, Miley Cyrus is not trying to control you by coming out of her crazy phase. It's okay.
Women do whatever it takes to influence men and take power because they have no shame.
You are so paranoid, and it makes me sad. Sweetheart, women are people too, and sometimes they just change their minds or they change up their style. You know, we do also have documented cases of men changing their minds too. Just saying.
Laci Green is trying to hijack the red pill and subvert its meaning because if men are paying attention to her taking the red pill, they won't associate the red pill with MGTOW.
I know this is difficult for you to accept, but MGTOWs are not the only people to use the phrase, taking the red pill.
She wants men out there to think that they've won the battle and that we've convinced her of our point of view.
No, you dingbat, she's still a feminist.
In the past, people have tried to rationally argue with Laci Green, but she only threw tantrums. Yet now people believe her with no evidence that she's changed.
What she's changed is her willingness to talk to the other side. And people believe that she's changed in that way because she is literally willing to talk to the other side and she's actually done it. That's evidence of her changing.
Men seem to be far more interested in a woman saying that she agrees with them rather than if she actually does.
But she literally hasn't said that she agrees with us. Anybody who watched her videos knows that.
The skeptics out there believe that their arguments have changed the minds and hearts of women through reason and rationality. The only reason women say they've been red-pilled now is for attention from thirsty men that want to believe that lie. It makes men feel like we've actually won the argument after a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, it's not like women are adults who have nuanced opinions or anything. It's totally all for the cock carousel. Won't somebody fetch me a fainting couch?
Women are not as intelligent as men when it comes to reason and rationality, but they're far more intelligent and cunning when it comes to emotional manipulation.
He is dead fucking serious, by the way.
People say that you've won the argument with a woman if you throw a rational argument out there and she shames you or tries to manipulate you emotionally. They say that you've won and you should walk away. But I think men should learn how to manipulate women emotionally the way that they do to us and throw it right back in their face.
Sandman, do you really not see the irony here? Do you understand how catty that is? Do you understand that you're literally doing what you claim that women do? You're looking at a situation, overanalyzing it, taking it personally, and planning out some under-the-table revenge.
Women can rarely win using reason and rationality against the average man. But a man can defeat a woman by using irrational arguments and attacking her self-esteem.
So your bright idea is to just call women fat and ugly until they agree with you? I don't need to get out the tarot cards to know that that's not gonna work.
The reason men fall for these anti-feminist women is because these women hold up a mirror to his face. The man then sees himself reflected back, and then he falls in love with himself. The female chameleons saying that they're red-pilled offer nothing more than a reflection of what we desire. They tell us the lie that we hope to believe. All they're doing is using perfume to cover up their farts. All they're doing is taking the words of men, repackaging them, and trying to win the favor back from men. All the skeptic men's rights and MGTOW arguments were first introduced by men, and now they're being appropriated by women as nothing more than a tool for manipulation.
Women are not repeating the arguments from MGTOW because, let's face it, any self-respecting woman knows that if you give a lonely neckbeard any amount of positive attention, your ass is about to get stalked. You're obviously just paranoid. Women are not peddling right-wing ideas just to get into your pants. I genuinely don't think that any woman has ever thought to themselves,
You know how I'm gonna get laid today? I'm just gonna tell a guy that I agree with all of his political views. That's what's gonna get him into bed.
that's literally not a thing that women do. I don't know if you know about this, but there's this thing called flirting, and flirting usually involves some playful back and forth, and it's usually lightly combative. Seriously, don't flirt with a guy by agreeing with everything that he says. That's no fun.
Enlightenment has been turned into a tool for subjugation.
Y'all, I promise that we anti-feminist women don't have weekly meetings like, alright, is the subjugation of men going okay? And sugar tits, you're making sure that Bearing's still a mangina.
Right?
Okay, good. Meeting adjourned.
That's what these new anti-feminist women are here to do. They're here to subjugate men using the same tools we were trying to use to free ourselves with.
The with at the end of that sentence was unnecessary. Just saying. But we are literally not doing that. And you, good sir, are giving yourself and women way too much credit. First of all, you think you actually know how women think, and second of all, you think that women have this mass coordinated effort to subjugate men.
They have more influence over men because men tend to subscribe to their channels, because we as men naturally want to give women validation. The more we validate anti-feminist women, the more power we give them to subvert the narrative. MGTOW might be bigger than the men's rights movement, but we exist in the shadow of the skeptic community. Women understand they will never subvert MGTOW.
Sweetheart, no, you don't have some super strong movement that women are scared to infiltrate. We just don't agree with your paranoid BS.
But if they can control the skeptic community, they will prevent a greater number of men from going their own way. At least they're hoping so.
That's not what's happening.
Even if they slow the process down a bit, they've won in some way. It's impossible to rationalize with men to convince them that Laci Green is an imposter. Most men in the skeptic community believe it's their own reason and rationality which are to blame for Miss Green going her own way.
It's funny that you're using Laci Green to try to prove this point because if anything, she's doing the exact opposite of what you say. All she's done is open up a dialogue. In fact, she's sticking to her own views. That completely negates your hypothesis that she's just doing this to pretend like she's now an anti-feminist.
When women pretend to change, it throws a monkey wrench into the ideas of female nature and all women being the same. It gives most men hope that not all women are like that, and that's all it takes for them to have enough confidence to go out there and get married, thinking their anti-feminist girlfriend with a touch of men's rights has their best interests at heart. They've been fed all the chess pieces to boost their confidence before they get checkmate.
I don't know why MGTOWs try to pretend like they're not just feminists in the reverse. You literally think that men only think with their dicks and that women are a hive mind. That matches the exact worldview of a feminist. All you've done is taken the feminist worldview and come to a conclusion that demonizes women.
Laci Green, however, is an idiot because she wants to use her channel as a platform for social justice warriors and skeptics to debate one another. Perhaps her real goal is to lead the social justice movement into a sort of pretend renaissance where they pretend to have taken the red pill and therefore the skeptic community has won by default.
We don't win by default just because Laci Green is talking to us. We win through better arguments. And social justice still has a stranglehold on the world outside of YouTube. I mean, hello, all of Silicon Valley, including Google, Disney, colleges. Sure, we might be more popular on YouTube, but in the real world, we haven't won jack shit.
As a result, the skeptic community would no longer have to wage a cultural war, and there would be no need for it to exist. Turd-Flinging Monkey was talking about this idea before. If feminists and social justice warriors were no longer making content, then the skeptic community would no longer have anything to attack.
Then Turd-Flinging Monkey is wrong. Social justice does not just exist on YouTube, it has real-world effects. If SJWs stopped making videos, we would still have plenty of things to talk about because the world would keep turning outside of YouTube.
Suddenly, Shuan Head, Sargon of Akkad, and many others would have a difficult time finding things to criticize, and their audiences would shrink.
Sargon hardly makes response videos anymore. Sargon's videos are centered around the world and its events. Nothing about his content would change if all of the SJW channels dropped off the face of the earth. I cover a mix of current events and videos. If I had to shift to just covering current events, I would have no problem doing that.
To destroy the skeptic community, you starve them of the content they criticize, and therefore you starve them of attention and money. Then when it's safe and when the skeptic community is shrunken down or gone, you bring back feminism with little to no opposition. That's what I think that Laci Green is really up to.
Is she also putting chemicals in the water that turn the frickin' frogs gay?
It may or may not work, it's way too soon to tell. If that happens, then MGTOW will be the only real red pill left.
Not everything is a massive conspiracy. The MGTOWs are not going to rise and avenge the skeptic community just because Laci Green is willing to talk to people. But hey, I'm just some dumb American, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Please make sure that you subscribe to the Baywatch channel so that you don't miss an episode of the Baywatch podcast. As always, if you like my videos and you would like to support my channel, the link to my Patreon is down in the description below, or you can check out my Teespring store. If you enjoyed the video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.